I'm dead bored. I feel you. I feel you. I think at that point you take up friends and you just chill. Like, and you don't have to take it further than it should go with those friends either. Like, you chill. Like, you take life, you learn things in this life, you learn what you like, you know, going out with different people or whatever, but you don't necessarily have to settle, and you don't have to give yourself up in any way if you don't want to or whatever while you wait. We are not patient. We are not patient. I think I've been in a soul tie, but since I cut her off, I wonder if it was real, or if I just liked her a lot. It could have been a soul tie, even if it was just, oh, I like her. You know what I mean? Like, it's a heavy thing. It's a heavy feeling. It's something that's really, really heavy. It's something that you're tied to. You know, even if it wasn't love, like. No, sometimes it's not love, but it's a soul tie. You be stuck. I'm dating everybody. I want to be like you when I grow up. Oh God, it's so funny. But I was saying that you were saying that that you're never out or whatever. You're always in that soul tie. And your soul is always tied to them. Someone else said that you're always at excuse me, that you're always at risk of getting back into that situation. So how do you stay out? Your soul ages, so they may have been for you at the moment. Okay, so your soul is getting older. So, but in that case, then your soul is not really tied to them anymore. Your soul was tied to them, and now that you're older, hey Britt, now that you're older, Brittany, what you know about soul ties, sister? Let us know. Feed us your knowledge. What you got for us? D, what you got for us? What you know about soul ties? Feed us tonight. We trying to eat. At that time, your soul was tied to that person, and now your soul. My soul is on, your soul ties on child support. How did you, you're so stupid. How did you get out? How did you get out? At what was it that cut the ties? Or what was it that how'd you get the scissors in your hand? To me, I think I got tired, really. Like, I got tired. Like, okay, yeah, no. Don't want to do this anymore. I think I had once all of my excuses had passed, I was done. I prayed a lot too. I have to say that. I prayed myself out of it, because while I was in it, I was praying the entire time. And while I was in it, I was praying and I was getting the signs, and I just didn't want to accept what was being said. Like, I would be like, okay, if this happens, then that's it. I gotta rip the Band-Aid off or whatever. And then they would be like, yeah, but why we gotta do all of that? Why we just can't stay in love forever? And just, you know, I was like, you know what? You're right. How many soul ties are you allowed per lifetime? Because I might need to recycle one. No, we have to wait for, the goal is to wait for our soulmate. That's the goal. Forget these soul ties. We gotta wait for our soulmate. Treatment during pregnancy broke my soul tie. So, Kids was saying that your soul grows older. So maybe at that time you were going through a phase where you were growing. Maybe that's what happened. You grow. Like, I believe that we are constantly cocooning. I believe that we are constantly cocooning, and we're constantly being reborn. Every so often we go into a cocoon and we come out a new butterfly with new colors. And that could have possibly contributed to the breaking loose of the ties. It's like, okay, I'm a new woman now, which in that chapter is, okay, I'm a new woman now. You know, what used to cut it doesn't cut it anymore. But they had an effect on you that made you who you are, and mold your perception. How you, I'm sorry, this thing is coming up and it's like, I'm trying to get it. Mold your perception. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm trying to press the see more thing, and then every time I press it, the thing, it goes back up. I don't know. Let me see. How you moved after them may not be who you be without meeting them. Live and grow and learn. I'm sorry. Every time I press the see more button, it would go back up. I don't know. Yes, that's true. So you thank God for these soul ties, because I feel like I learned a lot. I learned a lot in my situation. I learned a lot. I'm in that cocoon. I blossomed so much after it, like a whole woman. Like what's the topic for tonight? Soulmates and soul ties. Then I realized he was a dirty bum. He was a dirty bum. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, I feel like you cocoon. Soul ties must have an age, because a young person, as a young person, this can be very dangerous. Yes, that's true. Because especially when you're young, your hormones are just like all over the place. These soul ties, these connections can cause you to do things that you ain't got no business doing. And this is another question. The remnants of soul ties, not just the spiritual remnants of soul ties that every so often or every other day you think about them. Not just that, but the fact that there are things that you did when you were there that you cannot forget. There are things that you did that you can't go undo, that you can't redo, because it's done, and it plagues you. It does. So as a young person, it can be dangerous. I mean, even as an adult, I mean, at any age it's dangerous, but as a young person for sure, because you're not even like. So we gotta talk to our children about. I mean, we say it's not only sex, but at that age, sex, and then their close friendships too. Like their close friendships, I'm very careful about who my girls are friends with. Like, okay, who are you calling your friend? Like, who is she? What is she like? You know what I mean? Because you are tied to those friends. You have two soul ties. Miss Silly, you got a lot going on, okay? And you need to get it together. Because we don't need soul ties. We need soulmates. That's what we're trying to get, soulmates. None of these soul ties. How do we cut these soul ties? We realize that we are better. We are greater. And when we feel it pulling us, we pray about it. Soulmates. Flip to the other side. Soulmates. Oh snap, it's 9:53 already? That's crazy. I'm gonna come back on, because I'm gonna come back on because I don't have time. Soulmate. Souls going in the same direction. Someone said that last week. Someone said that you and your soulmate are going in the same direction. My other soul tie called my soul tie. Don't answer. Don't answer it. It's some effort in your system. Yeah, you get tired. You get tired. How do you know when you found your soulmate? One of our sisters want to know, how do you know when you found your soulmate? My soul tie is fed up. He say, don't tie him no more. But nah, seriously though, I like that song. But seriously though, I'm afraid of missing my soulmate because I'm bitter and stubborn. I used to be nice though. Okay. How do you not miss your soulmate? I had that question down too. Soulmate. Someone said last week that your soulmate, you and your soulmate, are two souls going in the same direction. A soul that speaks to you and connects to you on another level. Now this is also in a soul tie, a soul that speaks to you on another level, because that soul in order for you to even be tied to that soul. They speak to you, and you're connected to them on another level. A soul that God made for you, your Adam or your Eve. That is what a soul. Those are the definitions that I have down for soulmate. If you guys have anything, of course, throw it out there or whatever. What a soulmate is. Excuse me. Someone said earlier that you don't choose your soulmate. God chooses your soulmate. And soul ties you basically choose. Is there an immediate alert when you found your soulmate? Is there a bling that goes off? Now, with that, the only difference is the outcome. I think there are differences in it too. There are differences in it too because you're not drowning. You're not drowning in that situation. Is there an immediate alert? I think someone said that some people are not tied to their soul themselves. They're not tapped in. You can't recognize it because you don't even know. I believe that you have to know who you are in order to know who your soulmate is, or in order to know that you found your soulmate. I feel like you have to know yourself, and I'll read that piece in a minute. I feel like you have to know yourself. I feel like is there an immediate alert? I think if you are on another level spiritually, I think you kind of know. If your discernment is dead on, if you find yourself being able to see things, I think you know. But I don't think you always know. I think some people are still searching, are still lost, and don't know themselves, and don't know what they want, what feels right versus what feels wrong to them. And so they won't recognize it right away. That's just how I feel. I'm gonna read the piece and then we'll go into the next question. It's called Queening. I'm gonna answer that question in a minute. I'm gonna read this piece. If we are all single, have any of us met our soulmates? Do they really exist? Okay, well, 1 second. Queening. When I met him, I was deep in a place of self-love. It was almost impossible for me to take my eyes off of myself and the things I wanted to accomplish. I picked my head up from my book of self-studies nearing the end of one chapter because I swore I heard my own voice. I wanted to know what face it was that went with it. I heard my mind twisting questions and loaded responses. I heard my passion and my confidence. I heard my spirituality. Then at some point I realized I never saw his face. Listening to my voice, I thought about how when we met, I never actually looked at him for more than a few seconds. It wasn't until I heard myself that I had to see him. That's just how much I loved me. That's how hard I loved me. That's how much I liked myself. The root of settling is most of the time low self-esteem. We don't like or love ourselves enough to know for certain that we'll find someone worth our love. We look in the mirror and see little flaws that keeps us from seeing how great we actually are. We're subconsciously wrapped tightly in self-hate. We go about our day making everyone believe that we think we're on fleek 24/7, when really we're doing everything we can to cover up the parts of us that we don't like and hiding the parts of us that other people don't like, leaving us to unintentionally be everything but authentic. The real you is perfect. Change the flaws you can and love the hell out of the ones you can't. The real you will attract your person. Think about this. How will your soulmate recognize you if you're dressed up as someone else? The end. The king. This piece is important too. That piece was Queenie, and this piece is the king. You know that game where you're flipping over those cards and you flip them all so you know this has got to be the one? You utter those words not actually believing them, flipping them over to feel everything you knew existed. Imagine spending your entire life an outcast and one day finding a mirror. Looking deep inside of your own soul, you are not alone anymore. You talk because no one has ever been more worthy of your words. You share because as you put out, you're being replenished. You feel balanced. Like the world is no longer tilting and everything makes sense now. Here's what I've learned. If it brings chaos to your brain, it's not it. The real thing calms your spirit. It brings with it security and is scented with genuine compassion. We as humans aren't always receptive of it and try so hard to believe that they're all the same. We use these precautions thinking that they'll keep us safe. When the truth is, deep down inside, you eventually want your person. We push it away because of fear. We spend too much time in a hypothetical place because of our past. When dating, we try to make sure we're putting to use every lesson we've learned prior to the current situation. Luckily, the real thing waits. It waits because it's patient and understanding. Rejecting it, you think about looking back because though what you had wasn't half as good as this, it's familiar. Somehow, having become accustomed to misery, you find yourself considering looking for safety in hell. Hell is hot, but that's an obvious and known fact. Allowing fear to control you, you put yourself in reverse, contemplating not walking through that door. If you're smart, at some point you realize a lot of your romantic failures came from not listening to what you know and feel, but doubting yourself and your ability to sense things. The real thing is peaceful. It sings to you in your language. It's seductively inviting and still honest. It's dangerous, but comfortable. Feeling heaven sent, it gives you rest. You feel like you can sit and no longer have to run from love. Don't miss the keys. Except the Lord build a house. Feeling heaven sent because it literally is. It's the reality of having your prayers and then some manifest right before your eyes. It makes you feel unworthy. You cry out of guilt asking God what you've done so great to deserve these blessings. You find yourself begging for God's help. And trust God to work out the rest. I know that was pretty long. Oh snap, did I go out? I froze it. Here you go with the oh, that sucked because that last piece was really dope. You talk the same language, right? Oh crap. So you guys didn't get any of that?